Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. Lovely, beautiful day. We've got video number 8 this morning. I thought I'd take our music outside into nature. We've got birds, the odd car going by, but it is beautiful today. So let's celebrate together. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy how good it feels on the body and for our minds. Today it's all about balancing our balance. Let's think about that. Keeping that core engaged in proper alignment as we execute movements that require you to really activate a 360 all the way around the body as we challenge some balance. So let's start right now with a nice little warm-up. Let's get our feet in a nice second position. Soft knees, weight slightly forward toward the ball of the foot. Let's pull up the pelvis, lengthen your spine. Take a deep breath in as we come forward, all the way up, and bring it down with a soft neck. Deep breath in, up, and take it down to the left. And deep breath up, and take it down. One more. Take it up nice and tall, feeling that core lengthen, and release. Into those knees a little bit deeper, spine nice and tall. Let's open that out. Let's lunge it to the side. So we want to push that hip out and open up the side of that hip made. Let's press it up, lengthen down, hip out, and press. Up, lengthen down, hip gently out, and press. Feel that open up the side of that hip. It'll come right up into the attachments of the lower waist. But also notice the adductor as that lengthens. Take it up, couple more, deep breath in, exhalation down, and again, deep breath in, exhalation down, and now just the hips are going to circle. We're going to keep the knees not quite locked, but fairly straight. Now this is all in the pelvis, in the hip joints, in the lumbar sacral region. Let it feel comfortable. Keep your spine lifted through your rib cage so that you're allowing that pelvis to move freely under. Now this again, flexibility through those hip joints all around that pelvis. Let's take it the other direction. You want it to feel comfortable. You want it to feel even and balanced. So everything feels activated evenly throughout that circling, that soft and not too big. Now we're going to take it into the thighs. We've got a nice bent knee. We're going to take that circling a little bit deeper. To the side, take it around and bring it forward. Now you're going to notice that when you are seated in those bent knees, that you're going to feel that really come down into the upper thigh muscles, the quads, the adductors, the abductors, and right around to the back of your upper hamstrings, as this will draw power down into your legs. So nice little recruitment all around that lower body to your thighs, always maintaining that lift, that stability, that lengthening in your upper core. So this is our stabilizer up here. We really want to hold and maintain that length. Let's take it up for a release before we go the other direction. Deep breath in, exhalation down. Now the other way. Knees are bent. Take it around. Nice and easy. Circling that through. Try to keep your knees stable. Don't let them go in and out. So we're holding the muscles as we rotate that pelvis around. You can slow these down if you like. It should not feel like you're really forcing. You want it to feel like a massage. Being aware of those areas through that core, through your hips and pelvis, that may speak to you, or if they're a little bit tight. Just reduce the pressure. We want to massage this evenly so everything is feeling comfortable. The body settles and relaxes deep down into those hips so that when we recruit more balance, they are ready to activate. Let's press that up again. Deep breath in. Next position, we're going to soften the knees. We're going to take it down to that reach squat. Now you notice we've got a diagonal here, not parallel. Diagonal that, we're going to bring it up, and we're going to go into a slight extension. Comfortable lift. Exhalation. Press back to your heels. Deep breath in and reach your rib cage. Now, you want to keep your hips neutral and allow the thoracic spine and the rib cage to lift, not the lower back. So keep that pelvis still. Deep breath in, lift that up. Exhalation down and through to that squat. Breath in, exhalation, extension, squeeze into the glutes a little bit, and take it down and reach, opening that up. Deep breath in, exhalation to the lift. Let's go for 2 more, and down, gently up. 1 more and down. Last extension up. And release it back to neutral. Just step that out for a sec. Nice and easy. Just step out, soften those legs. I'm going to start to get into little lateral steps. So let those legs be in a nice stride. We're going to push up from the ball of the foot to a tippy toe. So we are working the ankle, the fascia of the foot, and those inner outer calves. Knees are soft. Press into the point and really work that extension through your ankle. Feel that stretch come into the front of the shins, all those ambulatory muscles down around that ankle. Press, 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 and let's take a look at the shoulders. You want to maintain a nice parallel. So if we had a leveler, we would be nice and straight. So let's bring those arms up. Pressing strong through that lift, through that lift. Now we're going to hold it into the right leg, lunge it, come in, drag that foot to a nice lift, a nice balance. Make sure you're pulling up and in with that hip mead. Nice squeeze of the glute. Let's lengthen that out. Let's shift over to the left and let's press in and up. Nice lift. Hold through here. That's where that stability is coming from. Think strong hips. Nice lift. Let's keep that going. We're going to lunge out, in, and up for 4 counts. And take it out. Lunge, come in, and hold. And take it out. Lunge over, up, and hold. Think about your positioning. Even pressure. Bring it around and up. 1 more each side. Let's open out, press, and lift. Nice deep breath in with that. And take it out, press, and lift. Nice one. Let's soften those hips again with a nice little lateral travel step. Nice little reach on that. Soft knees. Keep the length through the core. Don't rest down. Nice and tall. It's a very soft movement, but you're being aware of your stride, aware that the weight is maintained right in the middle front portion of the foot. It's just behind the ball of the foot. Let's reach that stride a little further. Hold the parallel shoulder. Here comes the arms. Let's keep them out and hold. Your neck is long. Shoulders are down and back. Rib cage is in. Pulling up and in from your pelvic floor. Past the belly button. Feel that movement. Feel the hold. Last 4. And press. And reaching. Being aware of what you're feeling on the sides of the knees. And last one. Nice. And release that. We're going to circle that through and up and over. So the weight is still going to change through one side of the body and the other. over to the right hip, over to the left. As you circle that through, press and up and press. Stay at the top, side to side for a moment. So this is a real strengthener, is that body weight leans. If it's uncomfortable in your shoulders, please keep your arms soft and in front of the face. Don't go into impingement where that's biting. And press. So you're reaching up. You should really feel that stretch through your center. Here comes the other direction for the circle. Down to the left and over and up and over and up and press and over. Travel that through. Lengthen the side. Reach that left foot. Reach the right foot. Away from your arms. Up and over. Again, all of these can be slowed down if you like. Press. 2 more. Take it around and up and take it around and up. Lateral balance leg lift. Soft knees. Hold that up. I'm going to take those arms out in place. Get that weight, again, just behind the ball of the foot. Soft knees. Pull up that pelvis, up that core. We're going to lengthen that right leg out to the side, toes off the floor. You can just let it whisper touch if you need to stabilize for a moment. Now without touching, the knee is going to come forward and out. Forward and out. Doesn't need to be big. I really want you to concentrate on the balancing aspect of that left leg that you're standing on. Think about the left side. Think about the side of the body. And up and press. Let's come in and press. 2 more. Great bone density work on this, by the way, through that thigh and hip. Press and in. Let's hold out. Into. Feel that hip working. 4 and relax it out. Travel it easy to flush it out. Let the muscles relax. Let your hip relax. Deep, slow breathing. Expand that chest. And long, slow exhalation out. Nice. Getting ready to take it to the other side. We're going to hold that leg out. Again, concentrate on this alignment. So chin back, shoulders parallel, ribs in, press that belly button to the spine, neutralize your pelvis, get your weight solid through the quad, don't let that knee invert in or out, get your balance through the sole of that foot, hip mead nice and strong. Good sign of a weak hip mead is if it collapses out. So pull in those muscles, lift up, place it against your core, and if that area is a little bit weak for you, really concentrate on that positioning. Let's take that leg out off the floor for a moment. Remember to pull in your pelvis, keeping everything strong. Here we go. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to take it out, and lift it up. Again, it doesn't need to be big. Press it up. Stabilize your upper body so much as you can. Keep that lift, reaching up and into the space. Nice and tall, into the space. Couple more. Really feeling that right leg work, right? Feel those muscles working. Really gets the job done for strengthening, muscle activation, joint, tendons and ligaments. Last one. And out. And let's relax it. Nice. We're going to alternate a nice arm reach away from the hip. And we're going to slowly start to go into a little bit of a twist release stretch. So reaching over that opposite hip. Let this be comfortable. Nice and comfortable to start. Let that hip release. You're moving through the spine gently. And again, always lift. Lift up and away from the body. Don't collapse your center. Lifting up and away. So simple. Such a soft movement. But it's the alignment. It's the body positioning that you're thinking about. Feeling everything equally and even. We're going to slow it down. Lateral cross. Up and up. Get the feel of that balance. Let's slow it down more. And up, out, up. Try to keep your chest wall this time forward. Chest forward as we take your hip over. Once you're feeling secure with that, let's slow it more. And out. It's hard to go slower. You really have to concentrate. We're going to add a bit more twist. Be careful. Come up and over. Take it out. Up, over, take it out. Up, twist over, take it out. Up, twist over, and out. Twist over, and out. Let's slow it right down. Up, 2, 3, 4. Reach, and come over. 2, 3, 4, and reach. And come over. 2, 3, 4, and reach. Slowly hang on. 2, 3, 4. 2 more times. And bring it up. Keep that lift into the space. Think posture. Even weight through your foot. Last one each side. And bring it up. And open. And take it up. And release. Nice. Hip hinges. Soft knees, just slightly. Press them open. Gently reach that straight back forward. Slowly bring it up. So again, it's a hinge. Hold that core. It comes forward and up. Really working all of those muscles, ligaments and tendons around those hips to the thighs and around the hips into your pelvis and back. So it's a very dynamic hinge all around that hip. Lots of problems initiate and start there through to the lumbar sacral spine, where we get osteo in those lower L vertebrae. There's only 5 of them. And of course, through your hips, keep the tummy tight. It's a nice, gentle movement, which really works that hinge. Now we're going to bend those knees. Let's sink it down into a nice, wide squat. And we're going to hinge from that squat. Take it down, arms behind and up. So as soon as you bend those knees, again, you're going to feel a lot more leg work. You're going to feel the thigh muscles really have to come into play. And press. Try to really keep your weight stable through your foot. So each time you hinge, your body weight is not shifting forward and back. Really plant those thighs. Feel the pressure, the stability, the hold of your muscles. Arms are going to come right up this time. We're going to sink it straight down. We're going to come up just a little bit and then right back to that hinge. Bent knee hinge. Come on up, bent knees. Feel those glutes have to activate on this. Let's sink that right down. Keep your arms up this time. Take it up and back. Keeping those knees bent. And again, take it up. Last one. Let's hold this one here. Let's hold and see if you can get that nice and straight. Press those knees open. You're really going to feel those muscles around your hips. Hang on. A lot of strength on this one. Hang on, hang on. A couple more seconds. And then slowly bring that up and walk it out. Now, if you're near a banister, kitchen countertop, chair, back of a sofa, take yourself into that position. So we're going to start off just a little finger touch, and we're going to get into a nice quad stretch. So again, let's soften your knees a bit. We're going to take that left thigh and very gently bring it up from your ankle, keeping that lift in your upper core. Hang on to that. Now, when you're doing a quad stretch, in order to properly elongate that quad, from the knee joint over the patella tendons up into the insertion points into the top of the femur, and of course the one into the anterior pelvis. You want to tilt your pelvis by squeezing your glute forward. You should be feeling it throughout the length of your thigh. So you don't want that knee forward. That's only the patella tendon you're stretching, lower quad. You want to get your hip back and neutralize by pulling in your ribs, lengthen the spine. Now the leg that you're standing on, have that thigh soft. Think about your muscles and then slowly release your hand and nice hold through balance. Nice hold. Again, you've got something to touch if you need that little bit of support as we hold that for just a couple more seconds, hanging on to your position, and then slowly let that go. Come right up into a hip stretch forward, and now back and into a nice elongated extension. We're going to come forward, we're going to stretch your back, and we're just going to come into your chest and do a tiny little leg extension. Not too big, just enough to tighten your glute. Feel the body weight come forward, press, and back, and press. Take it down, and relax. Nice. Getting ready for the other leg. So always give yourself a nice little neutralizing movement when you've done a big stretch or a big strength movement. Just allow the muscles to relax, to flush out a bit of that lactic acid, or to balance some of the extra pressure points that you may be feeling due to imbalances in strength as well as restriction. Make note of those. Feel your body. Make a mental note. Always assess. Let's take it into the other leg. So again, close to contact with something. Let's take your other thigh back. We do not want to be holding the toes. That's very hard on your ankle. Make sure that you do come down into the upper portion of the foot, down by that ankle. If you can't reach it, try grabbing a pant leg if you've got one handy, and hold from there. Hang on, let's think about your pelvis now. Tilt that pelvis in neutral, squeeze into your right gluteal, soften that left thigh that you're standing on, lift up with the core, in with the abdominals, back with the shoulders, in with the ribs, in with your chin. So again, this is the balancing the balance that I was talking about. Using the whole body as a unit. Let's hold that from there. If you're comfortable, nice hold, nice hold. Lifting, lifting, lifting to the space, tilting the pelvis. Hang on, a few more seconds. Let that body work. Make note of where you're feeling it the most. What ligaments, what tendons, what muscles. And then very gently let that foot go back. Here we go with that lift. We're going to come into a nice flexion and then a nice comfortable lift. Flex that back a bit and lift. Now as you come forward, lean into a bit of a chest press. Come back, chest press. This really opens up your lower back and hip. You can see how much action there is around the back of that lumbar sacral spine, and then you fire your glute again. And press. And last one. And press. And step it out for a sec. Going to get into some nice comfortable push-ups for a moment. Upper body and core on these. Really nice. We can modify it when you're using a railing, a countertop, wherever it may be. So what dictates the intensity is how far away you are from the railing. So if we soften that pelvis, pull in and neutralize, your weight is forward. So here's a nice moderate position. You want to make it harder, the feet can be further away. You need to make it easier, come closer. But the most important thing is that your core is going to stay stable. No hip release on this. Core is stable. Find a comfortable position. Back your feet up. Let the heels lift up. Keep your knees slightly soft. Chin in, shoulders back. Hang on to that position. I'll be even here. And nice and slow, we're going to come into the chest and back. Come into the chest and back. In and back. Think about holding your line. And back. And in. Knees are soft. They look fairly straight, but the joint is not locked. Pressing forward and back. Let's come in for a little bit of a hole. It doesn't need to be too deep. You can feel the muscles working. This allows you to balance. If you go too deep here, you may be compromising another area of the body. So keep it moderate and think of your position as a whole. Balance the position. Take it forward, chin in, shoulders back, pull the ribs, pull the abdomen, pull up from your pelvic floor, neutral pelvis. Hang on, a little bit harder. We're going to come up, we're going to lift one arm, we're going to come down. We come up to a lift, down, come up to a lift, and down, push up. Now see if you can't release that arm a little bit as you're coming up. So it's almost like a single arm push up. Take some of the weight off, press it up. 2 more times, and press it up. Last time, and press it up. And now let's relax it back. This next one is my absolute favorite stretch. Do this one all the time. You can also do it on the stairs, but it's a good one around the kitchen counter. Do a couple of those before you get that morning coffee. Knees soft, arms out, and just stretch it backwards, allowing the banister or wherever you're holding from to elongate your lats. So we do this one on the ball sometimes. The difference with this one is you can get a little bit more negative pressure back. Make sure you're not too aggressive with that. So when you're reaching backwards, you can really feel the traction come around the hips and into all of those big back muscles and your lower shoulder girdle. Make sure you're not aggressive with this. So we're going to sit that back a little bit lower. You're going to come up and very careful, small hip extension and back. Let that hip extension start very tiny. You're tilting that pelvis forward by squeezing into your gluteals. So we're squeezing into those glutes, which is opening up the front of those flexors a bit. Lower core attachments, forward, and back. Oh, that feels so good. Your body will love this one. Again, don't be aggressive. If you find tonight or tomorrow you're really feeling those muscles too much, just make sure that next time you do it, less is often more, right? Hang on. Press and take it up. 2 more times and take it down. Last time and take it up. Oh, it feels good. And release it down. We'll finish with some twists before we get down to the floor for a moment on our ball. So comfortable position again. Lengthen that out. An easy torso twist. Lift to the space. Lifting. Comfortable again. All of these can be slowed down. I'm going to take that shift over and do a little toe tap as you twist away. So there is placement and some balance on this because you are placing that foot up. Keep the core in. Lifted. Squeeze your hip, squeeze your hip, squeeze your hip, squeeze your hip, and out. And 2, and 3. Keep the foot down. Now it's a lunge. side, and side. Keep those feet nice and flat. You'll feel this move around your inner thighs, over your hip, to your back, up your waist, and press. If your shoulders are uncomfortable, lower the arms. Listen to the body. Make adjustments when you're hitting a barrier. You don't want to be aching. It should not be hurting or painful. You want to wake up, and we want to establish release and strengthening at the same time. You want to find that balance and press. Let's slow it down. We're going to hinge to the hip, down and up, and hinge. This is a power stretch, more strength on this one. So working again the bones and the support tissue through your hip, your inner thigh, around your back. The back is straight. You are not rounding your back. This is coming from your shoulder and hip. A little bit of bent knee and side. Up a little higher with the arms and take it down. Let's slow it up and lift and down and up. So this one really gets the job done in one movement. Really opens up your entire body. And press. Keep those knees open. 2 more times. And take it down and up and over. Let's stay here. One shift over and shift it over. If you find this too uncomfortable, please stay into your knees with some support, but don't release the core. Let's press that over and look to the side. Press that over and look. Once more. Press it over and press it over. Come back to the middle and slowly roll yourself up and come on in. Relax. Going to change our position. Let's take that down a little bit. And I'm going to take it to the ball. Here we go. Grab your ball, kids. Let's have a sit. Here we go, sitting nice and tall. Nice and comfortable. Nice neutral position on your ball. Hold that lift. Deep, slow breathing. Feel your feet against the floor. Make sure you have good space in between the ball and your calves. Hang on to that length, nice and tall. Deep breath in. Let's take that up. Long, slow exhalation and down. And deep breath in. Take it up. Spinal flexion. Here we go. Through that center, release and exhalation and up. We're opening up down further through your spine. Careful. Remember, those deep flexion positions do add a lot of pressure in the discs in your anterior spine. So if you have some osteo or any kind of spinal condition, spondylolisthesis, you really want to be careful to decrease that flexion and think more from an aspect of straight spine when you need to reach something, where you're using your thighs, using your hips, and not compromising your spine. Let's take it down for 2 more times. Deep exhalation up. Let's go for a reach to the ceiling. And long, slow release down. And take it up. And relax it out. A little bit of balance. Now, seated balance really requires you to work your thigh and your hip as much as your core. So let's think about your nice line. Let's connect those knees right over the middle of the foot. Body nice and tall. We're going to start with a little bit of a shift. We're going to take the left toe up, the right toe up. And as you do that, you're starting to get a feel for balance. Think about Remember, the side of the body that's working the most is the foot that stays on the floor. Hold that parallel. Keep your lift. Keep your lift. Let's slow that down. Whisper touch and open and whisper touch. Now here's how we challenge this. You start to step further away and then up. So there's a larger position of having to recruit that balance over through your hip to your core. Hold that length. Take it out and up. Here comes the hold. Let's lift, arms out. Let's come into a nice flexion through your biceps, your chest, stabilizing from the back of your lats. Keep those ribs in. You're going to press down as you reach and come up and open. Come down, come up and open. And come down, come up and open. Try to stay tall. And lift and open. Once more. And come out and lift. Let's stay here. Forward and out. Keep that lift. Hang on and out. And squeeze. Squeeze those lower core muscles to keep that thigh working. To keep the flexors balanced with the abdominals. Let's switch legs. Take it down. Last one up. Hang on. Think about your position. And let's open out. Again, squeeze that core. That's going to balance and keep extra pressure off your hip flexor. Squeeze forward and squeeze. Last two. An exhalation forward and out and forward. Release. Straight leg up. 2, 3, 4. And take it over. And take it up. 2, 3. And down. Slowly. Contract your quad. Lengthen. Keep your back nice and straight. And lengthen. Work it from that core. Power up the core. And press it up. And one more each side. And press it up. And out. Again, fire that quad right up past the pelvis to the core. And down. And let's relax that for just a moment. Turning in from your heels. Massaging the hip joints. Down the inner outer thigh to the inner outer knee. So this is a real nice massage. Right from the sacroiliac through those thighs. Make sure you're comfortable. There should be no pressure on the knee joint. Nothing should be biting. Make note of those barriers. If it feels achy, it's probably a position that is good for you. It's targeting a spot for you, but you want to reduce it. You want to pull back on the intensity, pull back on the speed, and pull back on the degree of movement that you're doing. Listen to your body. Fine-tune each and every position. You want to feel good. Let's hold that out for a sec. Let's take those heels up. 3/4 lift. So you're lengthening into the space. Pull your pelvis at neutral. Don't arch your back. Keep that pelvis. Let's bring those toes, the ball of the foot, right underneath the knees. Hang on. We're going to press those heels down and we're going to rise up with the arms coming down. So we're going to push, rise up and down, lift the heels. Slowly push, contract your thighs and up. Keep your knees open. Keep those outer thighs to your outer hips, working to hold that position. And one more and up. And release. Arms down, take them toward the ball. And we're going to shift over to that right foot. And we're going to bring the left one forward. And we're going to take it off the floor. So this left leg, lift that toe off the floor. Ball of the foot is the only point of stability you have on that right leg. So you're going to feel those muscles working. Hang on to the lift. If this is too uncomfortable, let that left toe just whisper touch the floor. Think about up and into the core from your pelvic floor. Engage the muscles, lift through the spine, lengthen right out the top of your head as you feel everything working all around those muscles, hips, thigh, to the core juncture. Let's take that open. Let's relax a circle before we do the other side. Remember, we want to massage, ease. View the other way. Massage and ease. It's a small pelvic circle. Nice, guys. And here we go over to the other side. So I'm going to shift that weight over. This one is going to come in, heel up. So on that left leg, that heel is up. Right toe, whisper touch, pull up from the pelvis floor. You want to feel the neutralizing pelvis. Press that lift, lengthen out your spine. Take that toe off the floor, lengthen up, hold. You'll feel your body just gently moving. You'll feel the stabilizers working. At the end of every muscle is a Golgi tendon. That's sensing that proprioception, sending those signals through nerve pathways to your brain and back to the muscles to engage. So again, when I talk about a 360, as soon as we get into proprioception, and we have a double header here because we're also seated on an unstable surface, right? So we're really working balance. Lifted leg as well as where we're seated from. Let's relax that. Good job today, guys. Nice and easy, very small, gentle bounce. Just enough to relax your spine. Again, if there are issues in your lower lumbar spine, in particular sacroiliac joints as well, and you do have compression, osteo, reduced disc space, you may find this uncomfortable. Don't do it. Any movement that aggravates an existing situation that you have, don't do it. Find ways to modify it. Can you keep it comfortable? Does it feel helpful? Trust those instincts. It will feel good. It will feel right when it's right. Nice. Deep breath in. Come on in. We're going to release down. Last couple balance movements this morning. Again, if you need any additional stretches after this morning's workout, refer back to number 7 video last week, or number 1, and I think, was it number 5 was also a stretch, just to add any additional releases that you need. Your body will tell you what you need. Put a personal program together from these videos that I'm setting up. Choose the ones that you find, oh yeah, that one really felt good. I really felt a difference with that one. Write that one down. Compose your own personal class. You can do that with these videos. Just pay attention to what you're feeling, which ones work the best for you. Hip stretch. Again, make sure that you are close to something that you can hang on to if you need, near a sofa, near a wall, something. It will allow you to feel a little more secure and really get into the stretch. So we're going to take your left knee, we're going to bring that up and gently reach that ankle so that it is sitting in the middle of your thigh. Now, what do we need to do to balance? We've got to work your base leg. So that right leg, we want that knee over the ankle. You want to fire up your hip, fire up your core, sit nice and tall, relax your left hip, allow the right side of the body to work right down to the sole of the foot. Now again, don't release your core. You cannot balance when you're letting go of that core. That thigh and your hip and your foot needs the core to recruit that stabilization from. Hold that nice lift. Again, you've got something to catch yourself. If you lose your balance for a moment, think about the right side of the body. Let's take that ankle and let's bring it in a little bit higher if you can. So this time we actually have the ankle itself. If you need to have the ankle off the thigh, that's okay. But eventually try to move it over so you actually feel the ankle itself on the thigh. This will deepen where we want to feel this in your deep lateral hip rotators. They are the ligaments, they're sitting underneath the large gluteal muscles. These really get into those lateral hip muscles, really, really nice. Careful with the attachments down the thigh, especially around the knee joint. We want to be careful that it's not hurting. If you find that your knee is way up in the air here, that's really indicating that you are tight in the piriformis portion of those hip ligaments. So really try to encourage that. Just hang on to something and just really try to very gently encourage that thigh to come down. So there should be a nice moderate slant on that thigh. Some people who are very flexible, you may be right down at parallel. That is not considered, maybe normal for you, but it's not generally a normal percentage of hip range. Really, a slant is what is normal and considered functional, and it is a position we want to try to attain when you are stretching. Hanging on to the position, you'll notice that it's an active stretch. You can feel the body working. You're stimulating those nerve pathways to the muscles. And this is the stuff that also flushes us out through our cognitive nervous system. So healthy. You're flushing, you're stimulating, we're pushing blood flow, pushing those neurons through. Cleaning out the pipes, I like to call this. Really, really nice. Gently now, we're going to take that hip and we're going to slide it over. Make sure that your knees are in the center of the pelvis. Knees in the center. Don't have the foot on the floor too far over. That's too hard on that lateral knee and the IT band attachment. Let that foot be only moderately slanted. Press and lift as we try to relax. So here we have a balanced stretch for your IT band that runs right up, that ligament hanging on, stabilizing that knee. It's connective fascia really. Stabilizing that knee to the outside of your hip. Press your position up. Pull in your pelvic floor, neutralize, lengthen and lift, a nice deep breath into the space. Let's open that out. Let's come up to a bicep flexion, stay here with it, and come down to a tricep. Contract it out, turn your humerus, come into bicep, out, and in. Keep your lift, keep your core firing. Neck is long, hold the muscles, use as much contraction as you can through your arm muscles, feeling that turning in the shoulder girdle, really nice, and let that relax. Now just hang on to wherever you were for a moment and just let that leg relax. Just let that left leg, just do a very gentle little movement. Again, this should feel good. It should not cause pain back at your hip, or on the inside or outside of your knee, and relax. Hold still for a moment. I want you to feel the difference between the two legs. This leg should feel light and flushed and almost effervescent. Big difference when you've stretched that out and you release and open. Let's take it into the other side. Staying tall. Remember, this will be our firing leg now. Pushing down to that thigh. Hold for a moment, take your right leg up and press it where you're comfortable. You can start with the ankle off. Generally, that's a little bit easier. Hang on to the position. Think about firing your lift from the sole of the foot. Think about the differences between the two hips. Does this one feel a lot tighter than the other one did, or does it feel looser? You want to make note of those differences. And try to very gently even them out or encourage a little more response. A 2-to-1 ratio is usually what works best. Do the poor side once, then the good side, then go back to the poor side, trying to balance those. Keep your lift. Let go. Let's see if we can hold that balance for a moment. Remember, we are firing your left leg to the floor. Thigh is working. Hip is working. Core is working as you try to relax your right hip. Hold that lift. Think about balancing your balance. Balance the tissues, balance the muscles, the joints, as you allow a release to occur. Hang on, deep, slow breathing. Think about the signals, the sensations that you receive when you're doing a position. What do you feel in comparison to the other thigh? Let's come in again and let's bring it up a wee bit more. This time, see if you can actually bring the ankle itself onto the thigh. Again, if you are tight in that hip and that knee's way up in the air, that ankle's going to hurt because it's going to be really, really flexed. So let it come off, relax, and know that you need to spend a little bit more time on that hip. What is the difference? Now, this is not something we are forcing. You are placing a stretch. You may be down here. You may not be able to get that leg up at all. You may be down here into the calf. That's okay. Do what you can, initiating some response, some stretch, without it really hurting or aggravating. That's the important thing. It shouldn't ache. Hang on to that for a moment. Let's really press to that leg. Release those arms down. Hold yourself up. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Deep, slow breathing. Feel the space. Feel your posture into the space. Lots going on in the nervous system, creating lots of heat and lots of energy. Hang on, hang on, hang on. And a couple more breaths. And then slowly, slowly, slowly hang on again. And let's encourage that leg over. Just where it's comfortable. It should not be hurting. Just where you're comfortable. Staying tall, lifting, relaxing. Hold that lift. You will notice on this narrow base, you may feel a little bit more of your exterior hips. Again, it shouldn't be anything other than very mild and comfortable. If it starts to ache, if it's hurting, you must reduce and release the position. Don't continue when your body is giving you signals of stress and strain. Back off. Come back to it again later, tomorrow, and guide yourself into deeper movements, deeper flexibility gradually. Just a little bit of improvement, settling down of our issues, our achy spots, those areas that are speaking to us, just settling those down, becoming more comfortable, and allowing function to really feel much better in your body. Those are the goals. We're not going to the Olympics. We just want to feel good for the rest of our lives. And we can. Hang on again, and let's just relax that leg. Nice little bit of movement. Now, this little bit of a tug is actually adding a traction elastic band stretch down that IT band. So again, from the outer knee, coming up to your hip. Comfortable with that? Insert right into the hip meat. That's the outer glute. Hang on to that. And relax. Good one. We're going to finish today by elongating your hamstrings. This will feel good. So let's take your left hamstring forward, nice and tall. Very gently slide down. You can relax your back comfortably if your spine allows, and go into a really, really nice soft extension flexion position. We have a continuum of movement here. So it's opening up hamstring, hip, and spine all in one soft fluidity of movement, of physiology. Stem to stern, easy. Once more, kids, before we switch legs. Lovely. Thanks for joining me today out on my deck. Maybe we'll get down to the lake that's just across the road. I've often talked about my stretches down on the dock, one of my favorite things to do. Maybe we'll try that and see if the ball doesn't blow away into the water. We'll see. It's all about the fun, trying new things, right? Getting creative in this time. Pressing up. Trying to feel good, stay healthy. I do want to put a shout out to a dear friend today who is healing, getting healthier. Much love. Thoughts are with you. You know who you are. Take it up. Last two. Once more. And press. Take it in. Nice and tall. Open up your body. Deep breath in. Much love to all. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Take care.